The Little Mermaid. There was once a mermaid who lived at the bottom of the ocean. She had one wish, and that was to swim to the surface of the ocean and see the great world above. When she turned 15, she was granted her wish by her father, King of the Ocean. The little mermaid was so excited. She swam happily upwards, and when she reached the surface, she perched on a rock next to the beach. The little mermaid sat on the rock, humming softly to herself and combing her hair with her fingers. She lifted her head to feel the sea breeze on her face and sighed happily. Suddenly, the little mermaid caught sight of a prince taking a stroll along the water's edge. She fell in love with him instantly. When the little mermaid swam back down to the bottom of the ocean, she told her father all about her morning on the rock and about the handsome prince who had captured her heart. "Nonsense," replied her father. "You must forget him immediately. Our worlds are very different. You are a mermaid, not a human. Your home is here beneath the waves." But the little mermaid could not forget the prince, no matter how hard she tried. So she decided to go and visit the SeaWitch and ask her to put a spell on her that would give her legs. The SeaWitch was wicked and agreed to help the mermaid, but she wanted something in return. "If you want legs," she said to the mermaid, "then you shall have them. But in exchange, you must give me your sweet, magical voice. If you don't succeed in getting the prince to fall in love with you and marry you, then you will die and turn into sea foam." Despite the risks, the little mermaid agreed, for she was desperate to see the prince again. She drank the potion that the SeaWitch prepared for her and swam up to the surface of the ocean, where she collapsed on the sand. The little mermaid was woken by the prince himself, who had discovered her when he was out walking across the beach. The first thing the little mermaid did was to look down and check whether she had legs. She did! The spell had worked. "Are you okay?" asked the prince. "What's your name?" The little mermaid opened her mouth to answer, but no sound came out. She had forgotten that the SeaWitch had taken her voice. The prince carried the little mermaid back to his palace and told her that she should rest and that she must stay as long as she wanted until she was feeling better. Over the next few days, the prince and the little mermaid became good friends. They spent time wandering around the palace gardens. The prince talked and talked, but the little mermaid was sad that she could not tell him her story, how she had seen him and fallen in love with him instantly, and that with every moment she spent with him, she came to love him even more. One day, the prince arrived full of excitement and told the little mermaid that he was engaged to be married. When she heard this, the little mermaid's heart was full of pain. That night she ran down to the beach and sat at the water's edge, sobbing loudly. Her mermaid friends came up to the surface and tried to help their unhappy friend. They gave her a dagger from the SeaWitch to kill the prince. If she did that, then she could become a mermaid again. But the little mermaid knew that she could never harm anyone, especially not someone she loved so much. The prince was getting married on a boat. The day of the wedding arrived, and all of the guests danced happily, all except the little mermaid. She thought back to the SeaWitch's remark that if the prince didn't fall in love with her, then the little mermaid would die of a broken heart and turn into sea foam. Poor little mermaid! Accepting that there was nothing she could do, she jumped into the water, prepared to turn into sea foam. But just when she thought there was no hope left, the little mermaid turned into a sea goddess. By refusing to hurt someone she loved, watching him marry someone else, and sacrificing her own happiness, the little mermaid had been brave and kind, and becoming a sea goddess was her reward. Now she lives happily in the ocean, watching over and protecting those that are in love all over the world.